Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Brutal's Blitz, and in today's video, I'm going to be playing in what I consider to be one of the most underrated Tier 8 heavies in the game, the Bisonte C45. This vehicle is legitimately covered in spaced armor. The upper plate, as we can see, covered in spaced armor. The turret has all of these paneling plates around it, which are also completely spaced. Even the side of the turret has spaced armor over here and here. In general, what that means is that firing gold shells, specifically heat at this tank, or high explosive, are not going to deal all too much of anything, right? HE splashes are going to deal less because instead of hitting the hull armor, they're hitting a plate behind the hull armor, and then that's going to splash into the hull, which gives you more durability. And when it comes to the vehicle's, resistance against heat shells absolutely suffer when trying to shoot at this vehicle hull down. The 8 degrees gun depression paired with already strong turret armor and, heat shielding essentially, it just allows this tank to work a ridgeline like a beast. And when you pair that with some of the better DPM for a tier 8 heavy, when you pair that with good mobility, fantastic reverse speed, I really do think a lot of people sleep on the Bisonte, and it's a tank that I would actually consider picking up if you saw it hit the stores. I've always enjoyed playing in it, and you're going to see just exactly what it can do here, hopefully, in today's gameplay. This is honestly one of my favorite camos in the game. I don't know why Wargaming couldn't release this for Blitz. I always say it, I don't know why Wargaming doesn't just take camos that are already in the game on PC and put them in the Blitz, because they would make so much money from introducing camos which are already in the game. But what do I know? Well, what I know is that my shell just dipped into the dirt 2 feet in front of me. But we get a nice shell into the enemy CS-53. That's fine. I mean, sometimes dumping your reserve shell isn't the best play ever, but in this tank, the reserve shell is not nearly as long of a reload as your others. And honestly, our whole team's camping. I have really no support. Look at this. My entire team is camping. So, unfortunately, there's not much I can really do here. Now, we do have enough pen to cut through the Vipera, but what sucks is, yeah, the Vipera has APCR premium, which means that it can literally cut right through my... Okay. Can we... can we hit a shot, Ouija? Oh well, it's fine, but that Vipera is seriously a problem, because that tank has incredibly high levels of DPM, and... Okay, we're gonna have to back up again. I'm just hoping that our team can do something here. The nice thing about the Bisonte is that it does actually feature... There you go. Not bad. Our first pen into the Vipera. By the way, very good heat pen on this tank, so I can cut through even a Vipera turret somewhat reliably, which is not too bad. I just have to actually get that angle to hit the turret. Okay. I'm getting a little bit salty. I'm getting a little bit salty. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm getting a little... Every single shell I've fired has completely missed that Vipera turret. And in return, he's hit me every single time. Again, I can't really say anything. It's just my RNG is not working with me right now, and bad RNG makes a very, very bad experience, right? If my shells had been going where I wanted them to, right now that Viper would be a lot less health. And there you go. We get a pen that time, and we get a second pen, right? So even though that Viper shot me for a little bit more on the first shot, because I dumped my second shell, I was still able to actually outtrade that player. And now the Vipera is 630 health. And we still have plenty of heat left, and we actually have more health than that player. So not a terrible experience so far. We're going to reload again, and we're going to do the exact... Oh, well, there's the Vipera. There you go. Nice shot. As we can see, now we're starting to win. Now we're starting to win. We've blocked 1,000 damage. And even up against a vehicle, which is probably the biggest threat that you could legitimately think of, we're still doing fine. We're still getting out damage, and we're doing our job. Our Ferdinand is still spawn camping. I mean... By all intents and purposes, our team is utterly useless. But, okay, Vipera actually crossed up the hill, which is interesting. We got the KV over there. We got the M41 Bulldog over here. And, well, there's the Bulldog. I'm not really sure why the Bulldog made that play, but I can just reload and get my second shell. Oh, you're going to poke that again. Interesting. Well, there goes 491 off your tank. And again, this tank reverses very fast, as we can see. So that Vipera can't rush me. We're up to 2,100 damage now. And there you go. Finally, our tank destroyer did what they needed to a while ago. So at this point, we're doing completely fine. I could clear the Bulldog right now, but I'm going to wait for my second shell to come back. And once we do that, we should be completely fine. Alright, not bad. And we move up a little bit. Oh, I gotta squeeze through here. Alright, and now let's get this Bulldog taken out. Let's activate our speed boost so we can accelerate a bit. Oh, the Bulldog jumped off. Interesting. I got spotted, but thankfully, the Bulldog's dead now, so we don't have to worry about that. They have another Semovente Contra Caro 64, and they have a T25 too, which I've not seen at all. KV5 and Semovente are both spotted down low. Ferdinand is bouncing that player, which is not entirely beneficial for anybody. Where's this T25 to? That's my question. Our team's doing pretty poor right now. I don't know if the T25 2's AFK, or he's off on the hill over here, what exactly is going on. I think the T25 2 is off in this... Ah, he's AFK. Well, you know what? That's fine with me. We're going to aim in a high explosive on the side of that T25 2 turret. There you go, 377 damage. Reload again. We can see here that really, really quick reload on the single shot. We get another HE, then we load in a standard and clear that player from the game. So this was a rather interesting battle, right? This was a rather interesting game. The start of it, our gun did not do anything I wanted it to. Every single shell I fired went off, and we yet still were able to do a pretty solid result here. We did over 3,000 damage. We were able to HE that poor T25-2 who was AFK. And have a really solid result. Honestly, if that enemy Vipera had not bled as much health on that ridgeline, their team probably could have won that game. And unfortunately for him, I was starting to get some decent RNG at the end there. I mean, once the gun started working, we were doing fine. It's just... It's oh well, right? I'm not going to say that this tank has the best gun ever. It is a heavy tank after all. And all heavy tanks, especially in Tier 8, usually trade their accuracy for the hit points and for the armor. And this tank is not a stranger to that. Like, its aiming time is on the poorer side. For only 310 damage, it's got over 4 seconds of aiming time. And that's exactly what we saw there. I didn't want to sit in the open and let a Vipera with its double shot 400 alpha gun go bam, bam, and take... Even with gold shells, 700 health off of me in a matter of 2 seconds. That's just not what I want. So I don't really have the opportunity to aim in, and because of that, just some of my shells didn't go exactly where I wanted them to. But you did notice that the very good gold pen on this vehicle was able to butter right through that Vipera turret, even when it was above me using gun depression, which is very nice. I feel like that's how armor should be sometimes, especially for a vehicle as strong as the Vipera. So let's get into one more game here, and let's see what the Bisonte can do. Well, we are up against, once again, that same Vipera. And, I mean, we'll see how that works. This is a better map for, honestly, neither of us, because you need gun depression to do well on this map. Or, not this map, but you need gun depression in general to have an effective game in haul-down vehicles. And this is kind of like the Renault Charente, where its hull armor is very poor, but it has very, very strong turret armor and, good gun depression to work that turret armor. So, you're going to be in a bit of a tricky situation when using this vehicle, because there's not many spots to actually use your gun depression on this map. Now, the question is anybody going to cross through mid, or what exactly is going to happen here? We have a mill up top. We can see the Skoda T27 over there. I'm going to move up a bit. Let's see, is there anybody in the crossing? Interesting. There's the KV. Oh, okay. Okay. That made actually 0 sense. Let's just chill right here. And there you go. 327. And then the KV. Honestly, I'm not going to shoot my second shell. There's really no reason to right now. We can aim in on this KV. There you go, get another gold shell in. This is where that 2300 DPM on this tank is actually really, really nice. Now, unfortunately, looks like our team's not doing the best job ever here. He's going to back him to cover, so I might as well... Oh. That's an Annihilator. I do have support, to be fair. It's not like I'm alone here. But that's really cringe. So I have to back up, or I'm going to be bled out. Anybody on my team going to support me? Well, there you go. We got the bounces that we needed. That was truly a genius play there, Annihilator. That was definitely the play to make. There you go. There's a 295 into the side of your vehicle. There you go, another 299. And what's funny... Oh my god, what a freaking... I have no words, bro. Average Annihilator player. Just average Annihilator player. Well, now that person has a whopping 50 health. We're doing completely fine, yeah. That was a great play. Now, unfortunately, it looks like our team is probably not going to end up winning this battle. We're going to reload here, a teeny bit longer. 3, 2, 1. And let's move up. Let's see if we can get some damage into the Annihilator. I'm going to speed boost this as well, because this player needs to go. Alright, let's get behind them. And, okay, good. They're dead. Now we need to get the KV5. We can see here the mobility. It's not, like, anything incredible, but it's not bad either. There's one shell into the KV5. There's 2 shells, and let's hope that our mill Gets the clear? Unfortunate. That is really just unfortunate. Thankfully, even though my reserve shell does have a longer reload on this tank, it's still pretty quick on its overall reload, right? We can see that here. I've already got my second shell back, and we're starting to load now. I'm going to let that Emil try and deal with that player. We are going to focus more on the CS and the rest of the tanks over here. So we have the Skoda, who appears like he's going to try and flank. And I'm just going to back up into a position where, if that Skoda does maneuver over here, we're in a completely fine spot to bleed him out. Hello? Is that Skoda going to poke it? That's the question. Maybe not. I'm just going to wait here. I think that's really the best play to make, is just to patiently wait for the enemy to make a mistake. Because I don't want to be the one that makes the mistake, right? Oh, there you go. We got the CS53 over there. Okay. We just keep waiting. Oh, there's the Skoda. Aiming, aiming, aiming. Okay. That's unfortunate. We got the Vipera. I will honestly shoot my reserve shell to bleed out that Vipera. Because now that player's a one-shot. And that means that I can take that person out in the next shot. That's really important. Good, and the Emil gets the clear. Okay, this is a winnable game. This is very, very winnable. All I need to do is wait for my second shell once again. So we got to wait 5 more seconds, and we're reloaded. And then we should be able to do a pretty easy job taking out these players here. Oh, there you go. We got the Skoda. Okay. And... okay. That's very cringe. That was actually incredibly cringe. Push that guy. Okay, good. Alright, that Emil's going to get that player taken out. That's exactly what I want. Okay, good. As long as that Emil does what he needs to, we should be completely fine here. And I'm going to move up myself to the side. There you go. Easy shot. There you go. Another easy shot. Pretty basic stuff, honestly. And now all we have to do is deal with the Bisonte C45. So let's do that right now. Let's see. I'm going to activate speed boost. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, 5 more seconds. We have another shell. The Emil's going to make his way over there. Alright. Let's get right to the side of this SMD. There's 1 shell. And 2 shells. And then the Emil will probably clear him. Beautiful. Look at that. 3,400 damage and a solid victory. This is such a good example of why I really like the Bisonte. The double shot mechanic it has is incredibly nice. Like, I know there's always people that are like, oh my god, dumped up your reserve shell. But as you noticed in this gameplay, dumping your reserve shell when you have plenty of time to reload is not that big of a problem. It's only about 20-ish seconds for me to reload both shells, because my alpha damage is only 310. So because of that, there wasn't much of a downside in this game for dumping it. I mean, sure, maybe if I had single shot the entire game, I could have potentially done more damage. But I don't know. I mean, I did fine. I won. I did top on the team and earned a boatload of credits, so I can't really complain. I really do think the Bisonte is one of the most underrated tier 8 heavies. It's an absolute beast. The gun is great. The overall armor is fantastic. The mobility, top speed is okay, but because it reverses at 19, it makes it really fun. And the heat pen is, you know, even the standard pen, 240 standard pen is really nice. So you can let me know your personal feelings, comments, and opinions. But I do think that this is a vehicle you should legitimately consider ever picking up. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.